The world is in peril, and a great human tragedy is unfolding in front of our eyes in the Ukraine. Right there at the center of it all, this human tragedy calls for the Jewish people to lend a hand and support. The Jewish Agency for Israel, which is the main strategic partner of Keren Hayesod, is out there in 6 countries, all throughout the Ukraine border, as well as in the Ukraine itself, with our emissaries, and I say silent heroes, including heroes of various other partners who are bringing out Jews who are planning to make immediate aliyah to the state of Israel, as well as people who are in need, refugees and others. This is the moment to support humanity, and this is the moment to support Keren Hayesod, who is directly involved in saving so many Jews and helping bring them to Israel with its strategic partners.
Dear friends, these are difficult times. 73 years ago, when there was no Jewish state, there was a limit to how much the Jewish people could help with the plight of others. I'm proud today to be leading the Jewish state of Israel and the Jewish people during these historic times when we most certainly can help. Israel has already taken in many Jewish refugees from Ukraine and is fully prepared to whatever the future holds in store. The government of Israel has also been working very closely alongside a variety of Jewish organizations, including Keren Hayesod, to help mitigate the impact of the enormous humanitarian crisis that the Ukrainian population, including its sizable Jewish community, is facing. We're deeply grateful that you and your communities are working alongside us in this important effort. This is our time of trial, and we, as the united Jewish community in Israel and abroad, will continue to rise to the occasion. I want to thank you, and with God's help, we're going to continue to work together to save lives. Thank you.
As you can see, I'm here in this huge hall, which was part of an old, no longer used shopping mall. And you see around me beds filled with people. Mostly you see mothers and small kids, because the men between the ages of 18 and 60 had to stay behind in Ukraine. The conditions here are not so good. On the one hand, it's heartwarming to see that there's food and there are all kinds of volunteer organizations that are helping. But you see the looks on the faces of these people. They're in complete despair. Their worlds that they knew don't exist anymore. Their families are torn apart. They don't understand where they're going in the future. It was very important for me to share these images with you and to give you a glimpse into what's going on.
The reason we're able to do this, the reason Israel, the diaspora, is able to work together immediately to work on this massive, human tragedy, refugee, humanitarian crisis, is because the infrastructure is in place. The partnership between the government of Israel, the Jewish Agency for Israel, Keren Hayesod, and the Jewish Federation of North America, that partnership exists. It exists through the coordination of the Jewish Agency and the government of Israel. In terms of numbers, I can tell you that already an additional $85 million is required, and US dollars I'm talking about, and it's clearly going to grow and grow rapidly. As I said, more than 2,000 already in Israel, but there's an expectation of 100,000. 100,000 refugee Jews from the Ukraine and also from Russia. We must also remember the Russian Jews. We are currently launching a very special emergency appeal for the people of the Ukraine. I really want to ask you to consider it very seriously. Our family has given a very significant donation specifically for this Ukrainian cause. Not just given a donation, but also transferred the money, and that money is now in Israel. This is not a pledge to play in 6 months or a year. This money is needed right now. And as you can see, the scale is enormous. I can only ask you, humbly and respectfully, that if you're in a position to do so, please also do this, to whatever your capacity is. Please do it in addition to what you ordinarily or generously would give to Keren Hayesod. I think very simply, if not now, when would we do this?